All right, so this is about how can we get people to show up in your sales meetings, in the booked calls, whenever they have a call with you and you have high no-show rates, people are just not showing up. This is the step-by-step guide for you to follow to get to up to 80% show rates or of course more. Now, if you're not getting at least 80%, this process will help you get up there. And of course, it will increase your sales because more people will show up. It will decrease your ad costs because when people no show, these are wasted ad dollars. So let's jump right into it. The most important part to fix no show rates is the journey leading to the call. And this is super important. For example, running ads to a VSL that ask people to book a call will have higher no show rates than an appointment setter booking them in because there is human interaction, there is a human element to it. Unless the appointment setter is just shoving them down the funnel and forcing them into a call without context. With all of that said, let's set the calendar foundation because this is crucial, leading them up to the call, even before the call. What parameters can we follow to minimize no shows? So we have to remove people options to cancel the booking inside the calendar software. So if they'd like to cancel, we want them to communicate with us. This is important because when you have an easy to press cancel button, or the easier you make it for them to no show, the more people will no show. That's just human nature right there. Also, when you have people reply back or reach out for them to cancel, you have the option to reschedule. So that saves you time in the calendar and also rebooks them so you're never losing that lead. Now, only allow people to book in the next 72 hours. If you stretch that period, you will get higher no shows and you lower the chances of them buying overall. People forget. And I've done this with dozens and dozens of clients. This is the reality. So if you stretch it to 5 days, 7 days, or even more, the chances of them no showing almost triple, and the longer you wait, the more the chances that they will no show. Now, it's also important to set calendar availability to start top of the hour and into 15, 30, or 60-minute slots. So top of the hour, and this is why it's important because a lot of people will try to squeeze things into their calendar. For example, if they have a 15-minute meeting, for example, going from 6 to 6:15, and then they're able to book with you at 6:15 until 7, the challenge with that is if the other meeting bleeds into your hour, they're going to no show. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Have them start at the top of the hour so they respect the calendar and they're not just squeezing things in altogether. Lastly, your calendar software should have reminder notifications at 24 hours, like the day before, 1 hour before the meeting, and 15 minutes before. So enable them, customize the message, of course, to tailor your specific offer, but this will get them to get those automated reminders in a much easier way. Now, the reminders, we're talking about both email and text. If you don't want to bombard people and it's not a huge problem, like you're getting a 70% show up rate and you just want to bump it up and you have few reminders, just add one text the day of, couple of hours before. Hey, name, are you still good for our meeting? And you're good to go. Now, let's jump into the more advanced stuff. We built the foundation, booking people coming into the calendar. We have set the parameters. So, the moment someone signs up, we have to send them an email with an assessment and specific case studies. So, this is where we can start pre selling, setting criteria on how the call will go. So, you can use this template. Hi, name, just so you penciled in a time about possibly getting help with the problem, why they booked in the first place. I have us booked for 60-minute Zoom on date and time, so you remind them when. Please avoid being a car outside, be in a quiet area with good internet connection. This is powerful because a lot of people, they will take the call while driving and they will not be concentrated enough to make a decision, or they will not pay close attention. And this is where you'll get think about it. This is where you get send me a proposal. So you have to get them to respect your hour together. Now, let's move into the assessment, and this is where we introduce micro commitments. So, the same as with any formal process, you go in an appointment to have a mortgage, you go into the doctor, you have to fill in an assessment. So, this is how you can start rather instead of just eliminating no shows. This is also where you have and you position yourself as a trusted advisor. So you send a business assessment, and I will go through the business assessment in a different video. But essentially, you want to start building gaps in their process based on their business assessment with the right questions. The second piece is you're going to introduce client case studies to see and to show them, okay, I've gotten results from people like you, check them out, and make sure you get some notes out of them so you have some context when we discuss. And this helps you when they get into the call, ask them, hey, did you manage to send the case study video I sent over? Okay, what resonated most with you from what you saw? And from the moment they jump on the sales meeting or the discovery session that you have together, you already remind them the client results that they've seen. So you set a powerful frame without being salesy. You just remind them from the proof that you sent them before. Please make sure you complete the above. If you need anything else, email me back here or feel free to message me on my mobile here. This is important because you will be sending them texts. So subconsciously, they're going to start maybe remembering your phone number as well. So when you text them, it makes it more probable for you to receive a call back, receive a text back. So as we discussed, indoctrinate your prospects, pre-sales into the methodology, filling in the assessment, it's powerful micro commitment. And once you send that email, you want to send a confirmation text. So, hi, if you have a setter setting calls for you, you can use this, or this is just Chris here. I just sent you an important email with the assessment. Did that come through all right? You want to check in if they got it. And by sending that message and then confirming, you will see if they are responsive or not from the get go, from the day that they book. So if they start not being responsive day one, day two, you can start going into emergency mode and start calling them, start texting them, or removing them from your calendar altogether, because you have to honor your calendar at the end of the day. Now, if they don't respond to your text by the end of the day, remind them, hey, name, did my last message come through? This is critical, because if they're not responsive, do you really think they'll be able and available 3 days later? A good hack here is to send this above and every text message into separate messages. So you copy paste this, send, you copy paste this, send. And this shows that a human being is sending them. It's not a block of text. They see that it's not automated. And you can, of course, automate this, but that's the idea there. Now, before the meeting, regardless if they filled in the assessment, send them this reminder text, and I'll explain why. So, hi, name, looking forward to speaking to you. Have you gone through the email assessment I sent over? Yes, reply back. Otherwise, we can reschedule. So, this is tiny but powerful, right? Because it's telling them, and of course I have the email version as well if you don't have a phone number, but this reminds them about the meeting and the assessment. So if they haven't completed it yet, they will go back and they will complete it. If they have completed it, it reminds them that they went through it and triggers their answers, what they replied, to become top of mind again. So expect a reply on the messages above, otherwise that could mean trouble. And if you want to take it to the next level, send them a video along with the text above. So if you're the business owner here, send them a sample video, send it to everyone. In terms of every new prospect can get a sample video from you, but this builds emotional connection before the call. But also, if you have a sales team, have them shoot a short 20-second video. And if you don't have a huge volume of calls and they can do it, you can even personalize it. So each one, it can say, hey, Chris, this is just Chris from XYZ team. Really excited about our call. I saw you filled in the assessment, looking good. A lot of people come to us for those challenges. Looking forward to our discussion. And I have the script here. You can pretty much deploy it into your process. But the idea is to walk them through the plan. So we'll examine your current situation to see what is working, what's not working with your business or your weight loss journey or whatever you're selling. Identify growth possibilities in the next 12 months. So current situation here, future situation here, and their goals and outcomes, and develop a growth plan that delivers you results. And if we see that what we do can help you, we can talk possible next steps. So as you can see, I'm not assertive. I'm not sure that I can help them, but I'm seeding in that if it makes sense, we can talk possible next steps. So they're not just waiting for this to be a consultation call or a free value only call, but we can talk possible next steps. So it seeds that there will be a discussion if we see we can help them. Now, what happens if they don't reply to anything above? So, non-pushy reminder, and we can simply say name. You will be surprised how powerful it is just to hit reply in your texts, in your emails, and just say Chris, because people see like what kind of machine, or people cannot easily imagine that they expect a block of text. Hey, I just saw you weren't responsive. Are you still good for our meeting? So they expect a block of text to come from a machine. They don't expect for like a one word, their name, and a question. So it's like someone calling in, seeing them in the street and saying, Chris, pretty much the same principle. If they don't reply, you can call them to confirm. So pick up the phone, give them a call. Hey, I saw you haven't you haven't replied back to any of my texts. I sent you an assessment. Just want to make sure that Monday at 8 a.m. is still an appropriate time for us to discuss. So simply just say that. You can drop it as a voicemail as well, because you want some engagement. If you don't have some engagement so far, it's bad news. And day of the call, the last check-in is you can send them something like this. Hey, name, I haven't heard from you. Are you still available for our meeting in 2, 3, 5 hours? Let me know. Otherwise, my assistant will mark this as a no-show and cancel. So we don't want to be necessarily the bad guy. So I'm not going to say I will remove this. I mean, it can be a status thing, but I'm not a big fan of status games. However, I will say my assistant will mark this as a no-show and cancel because she hasn't seen your responses come in, and that's how she does it. So it puts kind of like the blame, it shifts the blame into your assistant. So, but at the same time, it gives them a harsh reminder that, hey, this meeting will get removed if you don't reply. Now, they're not responsive to anything, they're not showing up, they're not responding. And sometimes it happens, right? People book in, they get super busy, they don't look at anything, and they forget and they come back. So if they don't reply within the hour, cancel the meeting within the hour of sending this email, because a lot of people will actually see the cancellation, reach back, hey, I apologize, I thought all these emails were automated, I didn't know I should I would have to reply. However, it shows them that you are serious about this. Also, again, if they haven't done all the pre-work, the likelihood of them buying what you're offering or being open to what you have to say decreases, because they haven't followed the steps you've laid out so far. So if you don't have a lot of leads to play with, just book them in. Before I typically let them reschedule, I requalify, because I don't want someone who's not necessarily serious, who keeps no show and next no show again and another no show. So we cancel the meeting, and what I will send them is, hey, is everything okay? It looks like you missed our scheduled call. If you're still looking to solve X, Y, and Z, check when I'm available for you here. Now, if you want to put another barrier in for them to confirm, I hope everything is okay. If you're still looking to solve problem, let me know if this is still a priority and we can reschedule. Just let me know if everything is all right, question mark. So in that case, they have to reply back. You're able to have some engagement, and then you can rebook them. Now, By this stage, you might be thinking, hey, Chris, this is too much. They will they'll cancel on me. I'm getting too annoying. But let me ask you this: is it better for you to lean on the side of being, a little bit more consistent and persistent with your reminders, or is it better just to waste hours of your time? Or have a meeting with someone who hasn't seen case studies, they haven't been through your assessment, and the reality is, after thousands and thousands of sales conversations, is if someone cancels because, hey, these are too many messages, typically they are a pain to work with. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to every rule, but yeah, if someone doesn't really, they're not responsive, and then after the third reminder, they come back, they're like, you sent too many reminders, I changed my mind, I want to work with you guys. I guess these are people that I'm okay with missing out on. Now, what I want you to do, go deploy it into the business, follow this process step by step. I've consistently deployed this across different clients, and we are able to get show up rates to 80% plus. And yeah, whenever you're ready, make sure follow the channel, drop a like, I would appreciate it. And I will include this document also, so you can just copy paste it. It will be in the description of this video. Copy paste those templates, customize them, and if you have any questions, always available on social, ping me, and happy to see if we can assist you.